The year was 1945. The world had just witnessed the end of one of the most devastating conflicts in human history. World War II had just ended. Millions were dead. Cities were in ruins. The aftermath of the war left a scar on the global landscape, with countless lives lost and entire cities reduced to rubble. The world was tired of fighting. People wanted peace. The collective desire for a peaceful future was stronger than ever before. The horrors of war had united people in their yearning for a world without conflict. They wanted a better future. A future where children could play without fear, where families could reunite and thrive, and where nations could coexist harmoniously. So leaders from all over the world came together. They gathered with a shared vision, determined to create a framework that would prevent such a catastrophe from ever happening again. They had an idea. What if there was an organization to prevent another war? An international body that could mediate conflicts, promote cooperation, and uphold human rights. This was the start of the United Nations. The concept of a global organization dedicated to maintaining peace and security began to take shape. 50 countries signed the UN Charter on June 26, 1945, in San Francisco. This historic moment marked the birth of a new era in international relations. They promised to work together for peace. These nations committed to a common goal: to prevent future generations from experiencing the horrors of war. The UN officially came into existence on October 24, 1945. This date symbolizes the hope and determination of the global community to build a better world. This date is now celebrated as United Nations Day. It serves as a reminder of the enduring commitment to peace, security, and cooperation among nations, and the ongoing efforts to address global challenges together. The UN's main goal is simple: prevent war. They want to make the world a safer place. But how do they do it? The UN has four main purposes: to keep peace around the world, to develop friendly relations among nations, to work together to solve international problems, to promote respect for human rights. These goals are like a roadmap for a better future. The United Nations, often referred to as the UN, is an international organization founded in 1945. It is currently made up of 193 member states. The UN does a lot to achieve its goals, which include maintaining international peace and security, developing friendly relations among nations, and promoting social progress, better living standards, and human rights. One of the most important jobs of the UN is peacekeeping. Peacekeeping helps countries navigate the difficult path from conflict to peace. The UN sends peacekeepers to conflict zones around the world. These peacekeepers are often soldiers, police officers, and civilian personnel from various countries. These brave men and women help to stop fighting and protect civilians. They work tirelessly to create conditions for lasting peace by addressing the root causes of conflict and helping to rebuild societies. In addition to peacekeeping, the UN helps to rebuild countries that have been devastated by war. This includes reconstructing buildings, roads, and other critical infrastructure. The UN also provides humanitarian aid to those in need. This aid can include food, water, medical care, and other essential supplies. This means they help people in need, especially in times of crisis. Whether it's a natural disaster or a man-made conflict, the UN is there to provide support and relief. They provide food, water, and shelter after disasters. This is crucial for the survival and well-being of affected populations. The UN also helps refugees who have fled their homes due to conflict or persecution. They provide them with the necessary support to rebuild their lives. Another key role of the UN is to promote international cooperation. They bring countries together to discuss and address important global issues. Through various conferences and meetings, the UN facilitates dialogue and negotiation among nations. This helps to foster mutual understanding and collaboration. They work on solutions for pressing global challenges such as climate change, poverty, and disease. By addressing these issues, the UN aims to create a better and more sustainable future for all. Imagine the world as one big village. Each country is like a villager with something to offer. Some countries grow food, others make clothes or technology. We rely on each other. This is called economic interdependence. It means our economies are connected. We buy and sell goods and services from each other. This trade helps everyone's economy grow. Section 5. When economies clash, trade wars and tensions. Sometimes, countries disagree about trade. They might put up barriers, like taxes, to protect their own businesses. This is called a trade war. Trade wars can hurt everyone. They can lead to higher prices and fewer jobs. They can even cause political tension between countries. Section 6. Cooperation is key, building a more stable world. When countries cooperate economically, good things happen. Trade flourishes, jobs are created, people's lives improve. Economic cooperation also makes the world a more peaceful place. When countries depend on each other, they are less likely to fight. The UN encourages economic cooperation through organizations like the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. These groups provide financial assistance and promote economic stability. Section 7. The UN's report card successes and challenges. The UN has accomplished a lot in its history. Since its inception in 1945, the United Nations has been at the forefront of global diplomacy and peacekeeping efforts. It has helped to prevent another world war by providing a platform for dialogue and conflict resolution among nations. The establishment of peacekeeping missions has been crucial in maintaining stability in various regions. It has improved the lives of millions through its humanitarian work. From providing essential vaccines to children in developing countries, to distributing food and aid in refugee camps, the UN's efforts have been life-saving. It has fostered international cooperation on many important issues. The UN has been instrumental in bringing countries together to address global challenges such as climate change, human rights, and sustainable development. However, the UN also faces challenges. Despite its many successes, the organization is not without its flaws. It is a large and complex organization, and sometimes it can be slow to act. The bureaucratic nature of the UN can lead to delays in decision-making and implementation of policies. It also relies on its member states for funding and support, which can be inconsistent. The financial contributions from member states are crucial for the UN's operations, but these can vary, affecting the organization's ability to carry out its mission effectively. Despite these challenges, the UN continues to strive for a better world. Its ongoing efforts in peacekeeping, humanitarian aid, and fostering international cooperation remain vital in addressing the complex issues facing our global community today. Section 8. The Future We Want, a Role for Everyone. The UN is not just for diplomats and politicians, it's for all of us. We can all play a role in building a more peaceful and prosperous world. We can support the UN's work by learning about global issues. We can donate to UN agencies. We can volunteer our time to organizations that promote peace and understanding. Remember, we're all in this together. Let's work together to build the future we want.